Hi, this is 3131. Welcome to my channel. A few months ago, a quiet little headline did the rounds. Hong Kong tycoon Li Jiacheng was planning to sell 43 plots around the world for a casual $22.8 billion. Not more, not some apartment blocks. Plots, and not just any plot. This deal included both ends of the Panama Canal. You know, that skinny bit of land that basically holds global trade together. So obviously, people assume that the buyer must be some government or the military, or maybe Elon Musk. No, wrong again. The buyer, more like a Goss coffee brand than a financial titan, BlackRock. You thought these were just symbols of freedom, convenience, and a tech-driven future? Nope, they are just tiny gears in BlackRock's vast global machine. This one company manages $10 trillion, that's trillion with a T, roughly half of the US GDP. Apple versus Google? Doesn't matter. BlackRock is the second largest shareholder in both. Microsoft and IBM at war. BlackRock says, cute, I own both. Intel, Nvidia, AMD, tech. Amazon, McDonald's, Coke and Pepsi? Yep. Even the Chinese apps you use every day, Weibo, 小红书, Baidu, Tencent, BlackRock has its finger points everywhere. Running all this is one man, Larry Fink, aka the guy who made Golden Gecko look like a Rocky. His crown jewel, a $2 billion supercomputer called Aladdin, not like a flying carpet, but a beast of a system that tracks 47 stock exchanges in real time and spit out market predictions faster than your brain can say inflation. Larry Fink's story reads like a Netflix drama. Started out as a UCLA political science student, took a left turn into Wall Street. In the 1970s, Fink made a name for himself at First Boston, where his trading instincts were razor sharp, helped invent the toxic mortgage securities that would later crash the global economy. Oops. In 1986, one trading mistake cost him $100 million. He went from prodigy to pariah basically overnight.
I said to myself 30 days after we lost money in that quarter, even though we made 130 the first quarter and lost 100 of it in the second quarter, I said I'm leaving. But it took me a year and a half. Because I never ever thought I was going to leave, but it took me a year and a half to try to determine what I wanted to do next.
But plot twist, nobody wanted to back him until he met Steven Schwarzman, founder of Blackstone and himself a Wall Street exile. Together, they launched Blackstone Financial Management, which would later evolve into BlackRock. Fink was among the first in finance to rely heavily on algorithms and statistical models to make decisions. In the basement of BlackRock, his team coded 8,000 lines of software on an old IBM, what would eventually become Aladdin. But once again, success bred friction. Fink, an aggressive trader, clashed with Schwarzman's conservative banker-style approach. They parted ways. Backed by PNC Bank, Fink bought out Blackstone shares. Schwarzman, who had invested just $5 million, insisted with an enormous return, but later called it the biggest mistake of his career because no one, not even Schwarzman, expected this little side project to outgrow Blackstone and become a financial titan in his own right. Then came 2008. As global markets collapsed, Aladdin had already sounded alarm. Fink shorted the market, cashed in big, and came out of the crisis looking like a genius. The US government? Yeah, they basically went, so wanna help us run things? Suddenly, BlackRock was advising the Fed, the Treasury, basically the entire financial system. Afterwards, Fink bet big on ETFs. An ETF, exchange-traded fund, is like a bundle of stocks. Buy one, and boom, you own a little slice of Apple, Google, Tesla, whatever. Low risk, low fees, great for retail investors. That's right. Well, kind of. As Professor Benjamin Brown from LSE points out, ETFs aren't designed to make you rich. They are designed to grow assets under management because the more money BlackRock handles, the more fees it collects. BlackRock is what experts call a universal owner. They don't own one company, they own everyone. When the public demanded more regulation after 2008, BlackRock said, LOL, no, put money into lobbying, and guess what? They won't even classify it as a bank. No regulation, no oversight. And get this, they are allowed to audit themselves, like turning in your own homework and grading it A++. Still not weird enough? Here's what it gets much Oscar door-level bizarre. BlackRock's largest shareholder is Vanguard. Vanguard's largest shareholder? BlackRock. Welcome to the world weirdest you scratch my back. I own your boardroom loop. They own stakes in each other, and together with State Street, they control most of the public company you've ever heard of. Example, Jeff Bezos owns 9% of Amazon. BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, 16%. So who's the real boss again? And just when you thought you couldn't get more omnipresent, Larry Fink set its sights on crypto. BlackRock now holds a mountain of Bitcoin and Ethereum. They are even out here saying Bitcoin could hit $700,000. Do they know something we don't? Probably. Are we all swans in a $1 trillion simulation run by Aladdin? Geez, don't say it out loud. The truth is, BlackRock didn't invent the game. They just learned how to play it better than anyone. So next time you hear the word free market, remember, it's only as free as Larry Fink allows it to be. But wait, if BlackRock is so massive, why haven't more people even heard of it? Well, that might have something to do with the fact that they, along with Vanguard, collectively own stakes in nearly 60% of mainstream global media. Let that sink in. They hold 18% of Fox, 12% of Disney, and the list goes on. In other words, these companies aren't even make major decisions without running them past BlackRock or Vanguard first. And the same goes for the tech giant that dominate new media and online traffic. Facebook, Google, Amazon, Warner. They are not exactly eager to let you see who's really pulling the strings either. I probably shouldn't be saying this much, but if you're still watching, I'm glad you found this video. Meanwhile, every piece of media, every stream of public opinion, every data point feeds right back into their ultimate weapon, the Aladdin system. Now you tell me, who should we expose next? Drop in the comments.